Episode 3 Live Fire. After the Ace's last battle of the First Order Navy, morale on Ace Squadron is at an all-time low. Practically everyone agrees they were outmatched and for the most part are scared of what will happen in their future encounters of the First Order. All with the exception of Hype, who takes the center stage of this episode. Things then take an interesting turn as both Yeager and Kaz officially join Ace Squadron, all in an effort to try and get the Aces to not only sharpen up their fighter pilot skills, but as well start learning the importance of teamwork. Hype objects to this, especially with Kaz being on the squadron, giving him the nickname Kaz-tastrophe. However, it's soon shown how poorly the Aces work together in their first skirmish against Yeager and Kaz, where the entire squadron suffers an embarrassing defeat, with most of the blame going on Hype for putting himself over the team. Unable to accept that he was at fault, Hype storms out of his droid, no longer wanting anything to do with Yeager and the Aces. Fortunately, after a serious one-on-one talk later of Tora, Hype is convinced to return back to the Aces and be more open to the whole team concept. This time in the second skirmish, Hype is put on the same team as Kaz, with the two going up against Ace Squadron. During the skirmish, a massive Jakkus creature emerges that captures Yeager and forces all of the Aces to work together in getting him freed. By the end of it all, Hype admits of how much stronger Ace Squadron is as a team, and even ends up accepting Kaz as a legitimate member of the squadron. Meanwhile, this episode also saw Tam's cadet training in the First Order Navy. As well being the best in her class and shooting down the most drones, Tam ends up losing her squad leader role, all due to her decision in choosing to save Rucklin's life in their flying exercise. This episode is now without a doubt my favorite thus far of Season 2. Not only did we get our first episode that focuses on Ace Squadron, but at the same time I love the differences in the contrast of training seen between the Aces and the First Order. It was day and night between the two, especially of how much more serious the First Order take their cadet training, to the point where they even use live fire, whereas the Aces fought each other only with stun blasts. It's also getting even more apparent for Tam that she doesn't belong on the First Order. She thought by saving Rucklin it'd score her more points alongside getting all the drone kills, yet it ended up backfiring and costing her the title of squad leader. All because on the First Order everyone looks out only for themselves, and the weak are expected to die for the Order. This is something naturally Tam does not agree with, but I feel it may be only the start of things to come that the First Order deems acceptable that Tam does not. As for the Aces story, I did like the idea of Yeager and Kaz being made part of Ace Squadron. With the days of leisure and racing now a thing of the past on the Colossus, the Aces need proper guidance in making them better fighter pilots. Because sure, they may be great racers, but racing and combat are two different things, which makes absolute sense for a New Republic military trained pilot like Kaz, and a war veteran like Yeager to join the Aces and lead them through this transition. Now, even though this episode did mostly center around on Hype, I was still pleasantly surprised to see every character put in something meaningful into the episode. And sure, it was a little annoying to see Hype be so unable to come to terms of how important teamwork could be, but I kind of get the idea that putting Yeager in a life or death situation like that was the only way that Hype was ever going to learn. At the same time, I think it was well worth it for all the new Hype quotes we got in this episode. Overall, this episode was a lot of fun and very strong. Despite the slow season premiere, it looks like Season 2 is off to a very good start. And to think, things will only be getting so much more better from this point on. But that was my take on this episode of Star Wars Resistance. Let me know what you all thought about it in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.